can't interrupt their meeting.
I'm not interrupting their meeting. We're having a conversation. If I leave, it's a yes or no question. Please don't touch me. Don't touch me.
For the county. You got to go.
If I don't leave, will I be arrested?
Yes.
Okay.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. We have a quick follow-up video. I did a video on this guy recently, and let me break down what happened really quick so you know what's going on in this video. This guy owned a game store, kind of like GameStop, but a local store. He stayed open late. Late at night, he decides that he wants to go get something to eat. He had a long day at work. As he was walking through the parking lot of where his business is, the cops pounce on him, and they demand ID. The man refuses to identify because he knows his rights, specifically the Fourth Amendment. And when the supervisor arrives on scene, you'd think that the supervisor is going to fix or situate any confusion between the cop and the man. But that's not what happens, folks. The supervisor arrives on scene, doubles down on getting ID, and the man gets arrested. Later on, his charges get dropped. But this arrest caused this man a lot of hardship. He lost a lot of business. He ended up having to close down. And this is what we mean when we say that sometimes cops ruin people's lives. These cops destroyed this man's livelihood. And there's a couple follow-up videos on his channel. The people are going to the city council meetings demanding answers as to why this happened and what could be changed so that this type of stuff doesn't happen again. But just like the supervisor, the city employees want to double down on being tyrannical. You guys check out this video. I'll be dropping his original channel link in the description for you guys. Let's go show our support, and let's let this city know that we, the people, are watching and paying attention. I'll be pausing for some comments. I'll give you my final thoughts at the end. Let's get right to it.
I don't need probable cause.
Yes, you do.
I need articulable, reasonable suspicion.
How about we go over to
Let me tell you something.
my business and I open up the door?
Okay. I believe you now.
Am I free to go?
No, because I want to know your name and date of birth.
At this point, I answer no more questions. I am a business owner.
This
I
is
clearly
his business,
identified that
but-
to him. Okay.
But now you won't give me his
There's
date of
no-
birth.
Y'all say all the businesses are closed. They're not. My business ain't closed. It doesn't. You better go look up at the code.
I know what the code says.
Then show me the code. Don't tell me. Show me the code.
I ain't gonna show you nothing.
Arrest me then.
Put your hands on your back. You're on the wrist.
On November 5th, 2022 at around 10:30 p.m., Lawrence Walters was working late at the gaming store that he owned. He took a break after a long day to walk to a local convenience store 1/10 of a mile away to grab a late night meal. When Officer Leon McKinney of the Baxley, Georgia Police Department arrived on scene, Mr. Walters cooperated in giving his name and business name to the officer, but he refused to give his date of birth, as is his right. Sergeant Terry Reynolds then arrived on scene, and Mr. Walters was arrested for obstruction. Mr. Walters went to the city hall to discuss the arrest with the Chief of Police, Jeffrey Taylor, and Chief Taylor's response was to threaten to arrest him again, saying, "You don't have a First Amendment right to argue with the police." For the 16 months, the city of Baxley obstructed mine and Mr. Walters' request for body cam footage of the arrest, the personal records of the two officers involved, and department SOPs related to officer conduct. Fortunately, the case was dismissed earlier this month, leaving the department no choice but to release the body cam footage from that night, albeit without Sergeant Reynolds' body cam footage included, so they're still being obstructionists. Shortly after this incident, Officer McKinney left the Baxley Police Department to become the Chief of Police in Odom, Georgia. As a result of the arrest, Mr. Walters lost customers and eventually had to sell his business at a loss due to bad publicity and repeated harassment from the city. These tyrants need to be held accountable. I have linked Mr. Walters' YouTube channel below, as well as contact information for the city of Baxley and the city of Odom. You guys check out this video. We'll pause for some comments and I'll give you my final thoughts at the end.
You want to arrest counsel?
Yes, please. Okay, how long do I have to speak?
5 minutes.
5 minutes, okay. November 5th, 2022. Then Officer Leon McKinney of the Baxley PD in Baxley, Georgia, encountered a local business owner about 10 p.m. The business owner, am I interrupting you guys?
Go ahead.
Okay, thanks. So the business owner had worked an 18-hour long day that day. At his business, the name of the business was Retro D Games. Worked an 18-hour long day. Left the business just to take a walk to Circle K to get himself a hot dog because as a business owner, having to work 18-hour long days, he had not had time for supper. So Officer Leon McKinney at that time confronted him and said, "Hey, what are you doing out here?" On his business property. But okay, so the business owner said, "Well, I don't have to answer that question. I've done nothing wrong." Well, that wasn't good enough for Leon, so Leon demanded, no, you're going to stop here, so he detained him. So the business owner was kind enough to introduce himself and said, my name is Lawrence Walters. I own Retro D Games, and I'm just going to the store to get a hot dog. Well, Mr. McKinney wanted his ID. Well, he refused to give him his identification, as is his Fourth Amendment constitutional right. He had not been suspected of committing a crime. The officer, Mr. McKinney, could not articulate a crime, yet he continued to detain the man. So he demanded that he give him his birth date. The man told him that he's just not going to answer any further questions. But he did tell him before that, I'll take you to my business, I'll unlock it, I'll open the door, I'll show you my business license on the wall with my name on it. He didn't want to do that. He had to have that ID. Like a tyrant on crack, he had to have that doggone picture ID. And so he arrested him, took him to jail, spent 12 hours in jail. You know what they do to you when you go to jail? They strip search you. Strip search the guy. Put him in a bunk with God knows who. I mean, you know, how would you know? Hopefully he's in there for this night, and he's not with a guy that's just sadistic and wants to harm him. But you know what Officer McKinney did that night? Went home and went to bed. He didn't care. His supervising officer, which has nothing to do with the city of Odom, didn't care. His chief of police didn't care when that business owner confronted him a couple of days later. And the chief of police in Bexley, who they've got their own problems with this, the chief of police told him he did not have a First Amendment constitutional right to argue with the police. It's actually spelled out within the First Amendment when it says that you have a right to redress your grievances with your government. The chief of police is your government. You guys are our government. That's why I can redress my grievances with you tonight. Well, Officer McKinney, nobody wanted to answer for what they had done. They wanted to be tight-lipped about it. They kept these charges on this man for 16 months. This man lost his business. His life was destroyed. Where was Officer McKinney at this time? Oh, he was becoming the chief of police in Odom, Georgia. Didn't care about this man that lost everything. Invested his entire life savings into this business and sold it at a $35,000 loss. That's your police chief, Leon McKinney. That case was dismissed just a few months, maybe a month ago. The video has since been viewed of the arrest, the body cam footage of the unlawful arrest, because the case was dismissed. They could have rectified it right away, but Leon McKinney refused to do it. Anybody in his chain of command refused to do it. He's your chief of police now. Is that acceptable to the city of Odom? The case was dismissed. That video has been viewed over 500,000 times over all social media platforms. The city of Odom is now known because they've got a police chief that had to be a tyrant and deprive somebody of their freedom and destroy their life because of his ego was hurt. And he, oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you, he even told that business owner that he had allayed his suspicion when he offered to open the door and show him. But so he was no longer under any lawful right to be detained, yet he was detained. So if you're into it seems like a pretty intimate setting here. Maybe you're into answering questions. Is that okay with you that your police chief has done this? Is that the practice that he would put in place here? I have no doubt that throughout his career he's done this before.
Let me just pause to say that I do believe that this cop has done this before, because cops are briefed every single day before they go out on patrol to run as many people through the ringer as possible. Let's get as many criminals off the streets as we can. That's their mentality. That's their idea. And they also believe that the people should just comply to every police demand. And I think that that is completely un-American, and it goes against everything that the Constitution stands for. It goes against everything that America was built upon. And like I say it over and over again, guys, freedom should be the topic on every dinner table in America every single night. We should be talking to our kids about their rights, their natural rights. We should be teaching them the First Amendment, the Fourth Amendment. We should definitely at least know the Bill of Rights and what it stands for and what it means. we should be teaching our kids and our families that. And one more thing before I let you guys watch the rest of the video. People from the hood get messed with all the time by police. If you're from the hood, you should definitely be subscribing and hit that bell. Binge watch our videos because you will learn how to speak to police. I don't think very many people from upscale neighborhoods subscribe to my channel because there's a bunch of bootlickers in the upscale neighborhoods. So right now, I'm doing my best to reach everyone in the hood. If you're from the hood and you know without a doubt that cops like to mess with you, binge watch these videos. Get empowered now.
And I have no doubt that in his mind, he's going to do this again. Is that what you want as your police chief in the city of Odom? I know you're not under no obligation to answer the question, but maybe go home and chew on it and think about it. If you haven't watched the video, just search for your city name on YouTube. It's most likely going to come up. It's got 500,000 views.
Or you can just look under the links on the comments of your...
Excuse me, I can't speak.
All right.
Are you done?
So, or you can look on the links on your comments in your Facebook page, which is what he was trying to exercise his First Amendment right to say. All right, so you don't have that right, but you do. You have the right to interrupt. You have the right to interrupt, but somebody else does. You're what?
You want to go on record on the First Amendment? I'm already suing the city of Baxley. I can sue.
Don't threaten
Wayne.
me. Don't threaten
You
me.
hush.
It's okay.
You don't have a right to speak. Your 5 minutes are done.
Okay.
When did it end?
Right now.
How long is it, man? Let's see. Okay, I got 6 minutes, 11 seconds. All right, thanks. All right, so if he were to keep speaking, would he be arrested? Are you gonna? Well, now you're the one saying I can't speak.
Yep.
So
And so
if I, okay, now you're saying I can't though because my time was interrupted. Oh, it's up now. I thought it was up a few minutes. So if I keep speaking, will I go to jail?
Sheriff, escort him out.
Under threat of arrest?
Let me tell you who I am.
You're interrupting the meeting now. Let's go.
Under threat of arrest? If I don't leave, will I be arrested?
You can't interrupt their meeting.
I'm not interrupting their meeting. We're having a conversation. If I leave, it's a yes or no question. Please don't touch me. Don't touch me.
For the county. You got to go.
If I don't leave, will I be
meeting's
arrested?
over. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
interrupting the-
Hey, y'all have a good night.
Can I talk to you a minute for sure, Mosley? My name is Lawrence Walsh. I was the guy that it happened to. Baxley, city of Baxley is in the middle of a federal lawsuit over this right now. You can be the same thing. This is going to go on YouTube, and I'm going to go to your department, full request. What you get paid, you're a constitutional deputy. You swore an oath to the Constitution of the state. You're
I'm the sheriff.
I know you are. I said it. You're a constitutional
And you can't
officer.
interrupt the meeting, guys.
When he
You
said I
can't
couldn't talk,
interrupt
I stopped until he started in on me. Okay, but it is my First Amendment right. This is a public meeting. You need to look under Georgia code.
But you can't interrupt
Thank
the
you.
meeting.
Thank you so much.
You can't interrupt the meeting.
This is,
You can't interrupt the
and
meeting.
I stopped,
He was allowed 5 minutes.
and
He
I
was
got
allowed
it.
to speak.
And he stopped his 5 minutes short because I got it at 4 minutes and 30 seconds. You want to see the body
And
cam?
the reason I spoke is because you spoke again. You can't interrupt the meeting.
I didn't speak again until he cut him off
Okay. All right.
during his 5 minutes.
Okay.
I did not speak again. I got this all
He's
on
the-
camera.
He's the mayor.
And
That's
let him be the
all
mayor.
I know.
And because he's the mayor,
what
mostly
are you-
because he's the mayor, I got nothing but time now. I'm gonna call all my friends, right? We're gonna come up here and lawfully protest. So this is what Odom
You have to
wants.
file.
I don't have to
Why-
file anything to
let me
protest.
ask you something.
Time, place,
Wait,
and
you should
manner,
let him
sir.
finish that. Let
Time,
him finish that.
place,
You
and
have to
manner,
file
sir.
what?
I don't have to file a permit or anything. It's time, place, or manners. U.S. Supreme Court already ruled. You're a duly elected sheriff, a constitutional officer. You're not here to support them. You're here to follow what's
I'm here
lawful.
That's exactly right.
And
And
you
you
kicking
can't
us out the
interrupt me.
meeting is not lawful. It violates Georgia code. You need to look it up because I'm not going to explain it to you. I have a right to be in that public meeting. I have a right to redress the grievances of my government.
You can sit in there and listen to the meeting.
But I have
You just
a right-
can't talk and interrupt it.
I have a right to redress the grievance to my government. I don't have to be on the agenda.
Do you
Even the
live-
law says that.
do you
Under
live
the
in Odom?
Sunshine Law.
Do you live in Odom?
It doesn't matter. I live in Georgia.
Okay.
The state constitution regulates these meetings.
Okay.
State of Georgia Constitution and the laws of Georgia regulate open meetings to a public office, whether it's city or county. You should
But
know
it has
this.
to be in an orderly fashion.
I was orderly. At no time did I curse. At no time did I even
Did you
raise my
ever-
voice.
Did you ever speak out of turn? Were
I-
you ever recognized?
I wasn't recognized, but I was making a comment, which is my First Amendment right to do. Can you tell me the 5 elements of the First Amendment? You're a constitutionally sworn officer. I'm going to give them to you. Right to assemble, freedom of speech, a right to redress your grievances to your government. That's 3, right? Now name the other 2 for me,
All right.
because you don't know.
Have a good night.
Don't worry, I'll be up there at Wayne County.
Bless your heart, he said.
That's your right now.
All right, folks, and this is what I'd like to see. People standing up for each other, holding government accountable. Government thinks they could just run amok and do whatever they want with the people. They propagate that the people should just comply. But I tell you, if you just comply, you make it hard on everybody else. If you question authority, you empower yourself and you empower the people. Cops always try to tell you that you're making their job difficult. But in reality, it's not we the people that's making their job difficult, it's their superiors. It's their supervisors. Did you guys know that recording police is 100% legal? The Supreme Court has already ruled. Not only that, in the First Amendment, freedom of press reminds government officials that you don't need credentials nor a press pass to record in public and ask questions. Your camera is just like a notepad and a pen. You're there to document the scene, you're there to ask some questions, and if the government tries to trample over your rights, make some complaints and file a lawsuit. And I gotta tell you, we the people live in the age of information. It's about time we know how to file lawsuits on our own without attorneys. Let's take this First Amendment auditing community to the next level, folks. Let's truly try to help each other out. Let's guide each other in the right direction. If we're fighting cases, throw some case laws in the comment section that could possibly help someone. This First Amendment auditing community has grown. It's spread like wildfire from sea to shining sea. Our friends across the pond are conducting audits as well. People in Canada, Australia, and other places as well. If you're one of those people that thought that the auditing community wasn't going to grow, how you like us now? Because of the auditing community, many of you have learned what your rights are. And that includes me as well. This video right here is just one case of cops ruining people's lives. Over unlawful arrest, cops are not trained properly. You will not find one video on the internet of a cop getting sworn in where he actually knows the oath that he's swearing to. All he's doing is repeating something that somebody else is reading to them. That means that the other person doesn't know it either. This is a massive hoax perpetrated on the American people to make believe that cops are here to protect and serve. We got case law like Castle Rock v. Gonzalez, Descheny v. Winnebago that reminds us that cops have no duty to protect us. And Uvalde, Texas should be the biggest example of that coming to fruition. We've been duped, folks. We've been duped. We have no choice but to hold government accountable, protect each other, make friends with your neighbors, get close with family, learn what your rights are, and learn how to leave government out of your dealings. Stop calling the cops on each other unless someone has created a victim out of you. I truly hope that this guy's channel grows. You guys can help with that. The cops ruined his livelihood. Maybe we can do something by helping him out, by sharing his video, sending subscribers his way, and maybe he can get his channel monetized. Bad cops create great activists. I want to be there to make sure that that happens. With that being said, I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Have yourself a blessed day. Always record the police. If you have videos you want us to look at, copy your links and send them to recordpolicenow@gmail.com. All right, folks, keep your cameras handy. We'll see you on the next video. Peace.